my part 2 of my thyroid cancer journey. So guys, I'm gonna jump straight into footage that started off when I was going into hospital for my surgery, and then the clips that come after it will be obviously the days after surgery, and then I do a big explanation towards the end of the video about the whole recovery process and information about how it all went. So if that is something you are interested in learning about or hearing about, particularly if you're somebody that maybe you're about to go through the same sort of thing with thyroid surgery for a thyroid cancer, then keep on watching guys. Here we go. It's officially surgery day. En route to the hospital now. Yeah, so it is about 11:45. My admission is for 12 o'clock. It doesn't necessarily mean, obviously, that my surgery is going to be at 12. It probably won't be till later this afternoon. How am I feeling? Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty excited, actually. I came to the realization that this is actually the first surgery I've ever had as an adult, apart from, well, in my life, actually, apart from obviously having my wisdom teeth taken out. So yeah, pretty excited about it. I've got high hopes that everything will go well. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, I'll only be staying the one night in hospital. So I just packed like a little overnight bag with some pajamas and a couple of snacks, that sort of thing, because I don't know how many vegan options they're gonna have at the hospital. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film once I actually get to the hospital, because I don't know, like, if I'll be allowed to have my personal items on me. But the plan is, obviously, whenever I go in for surgery, I think it takes maybe an hour to 2 hours for surgery. And then I think I have to spend about 2 hours in recovery, I guess, just while they monitor me, make sure that everything is okay. And then I will be placed on a ward, obviously have my own bed for the night. It'll probably be a shared room, won't be a private room, at which stage I would imagine I would probably get my personal belongings back. So yeah, don't know how much footage I'm actually going to get of the whole experience, but yeah, we're not far away now. I think we're only about 5 minutes away. Obviously, my boyfriend can only drop me off. He can't come in with me to the hospital because of COVID restrictions. So yeah, he's just gonna drop me off out the front, and then I'm gonna go in, check in, and so yeah, we'll check in with you shortly. So surgery went well, and it is now probably almost 10 o'clock at night, and it took me a really long time to come out of recovery and get up to the ward. So anyway, I'm super tired, you guys. I'm just gonna go to bed. The hospital cafe had really good coffee. I also picked myself up this little chia oat raspberry pudding that had walnuts and coconut, and just a long black, which I added my own oat milk to. I wasn't overly interested in the food that the hospital had provided. Some of it wasn't vegan friendly, and also it just didn't look overly nutritious. So I was lucky that I could find myself something at the cafe. Then I just waited around patiently for my surgeons to come and do their rounds, follow up with me on how surgery went, and just give me the all clear to be discharged that day. So I have been discharged. Whoop, whoop. Got my little pickup team here. Oh, hold on, Ellie. So I'll go into detail a bit further when I'm feeling a bit more perky. I have had my pain medication, and yeah, overall really good experience. All the nurses and doctors and everybody that I came into contact with was really lovely. Now I'm just gonna go home and rest for a bit, and I will fill you in more on how it all went when I'm a little bit more lively. So it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon now on the day of discharge, and I'm feeling pretty shitty, to be honest. Not feeling overly great. Not that I'm in a lot of pain or anything. I just feel like a bit woozy and almost like a little mini bit hungover. Obviously my neck is quite stiff. So this dressing that I have on my neck that goes all around here, apparently it has to stay on for a week and then I can take it off, and underneath I think there's like some of those little like butterfly stickers that I'll just leave on there, and then the stitches are dissolvable apparently. But yeah, besides the fact that I feel a bit crap right now, all has gone well. I guess one thing that I am coming to realize, and I guess this is something that maybe I wish I'd known going into it, was that the recovery side of it is probably a bit rougher than what I expected. I didn't expect to feel this crappy, but that's okay, it's fine. It's nothing unbearable or bad. I just thought I would bounce back a lot quicker. Oh, and the other thing that's odd, and I did mention this to the surgeons this morning when they came around and did their rounds, but on my forehead, so in this area here, all the way back up and into my hairline, this is numb. It feels as if it's still got numbing in it. And I know when I had the surgery done, they gave me a general anesthesia, and then they also put local anesthesia in this area. But I think it's odd now that everything else is worn off, but this particular area in my face is numb, which is a little bit concerning. But I'm just hoping that a nerve or something didn't get nicked or damaged in the process, which has now caused numbing. If it stays that way, it's not the end of the world, no big deal. It's just something I'll have to get used to, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get dressed and have something to eat, and I'm hoping that having something to eat might make me feel a little bit better. So yeah, I'll check in with you later. Day 2 post-op. I think it's about 6:20 in the morning. It's 6:30 in the morning, I just woke up. I don't feel sick or woozy or anything this morning, but my neck is really sore, like the sorest that it's been throughout this whole process. And I can tell as well that it's quite swollen. Like this bit here is really puffy, but like on a pain scale it's not really that bad. It's just that swallowing definitely takes some working up to do, and I'm about to take my pain pills, and I know that that's going to hurt having to swallow them. In terms of pain pills, I didn't get scripts for anything too serious, just some stronger ibuprofen. Is that how you say it? Ibuprofen? Like Nurofen, some stronger Nurofen, and same with Panadol. So I'm gonna go ahead and have that now. These pills are huge. My neck is also probably as sore as it is because today being day 2 post-op, obviously all of the anesthesia is fully worn out of my system, so I don't have any of that numbing. Plus yesterday in hospital they did give me some stronger painkillers. They gave me some endone, so obviously that's worn out of my system. So now it would be like the full, what am I trying to say? God, my brain's not with it. It would be like the worst pain that I'll probably feel. Water on my chin. But I did have a really good night's sleep last night, which I'm really grateful for. I slept like the whole night through. I ended up going to bed pretty early because I just felt so shit last night. I guess I was just really tired because when I was in hospital, the night that I stayed in hospital, I didn't get out of recovery until like 9 p.m. And then like I just wanted to go straight to sleep, but the nurses have to come around and do your obs, like take your blood pressure and your heart rate and all of that. They were taking them like every half hour, right up until I want to say probably like 1 in the morning or something, and then it started up again at 4:30 in the morning. So I didn't really get that much sleep in hospital. So I think yesterday it all just caught up with me. Oh, and breathing in still really hurts, like, and yes, I am wearing a Christmas sweater, don't judge me. So all down here really hurts when I breathe in still. And as for the numbing in my head, it's not completely numb, but it's almost as if like I've been lying on my face and I have pins and needles, and particularly up here in my hair. So I'm still really hoping that that goes away. But if it doesn't, hey, free Botox, right? So yeah, never too broken for coffee. Gonna go make myself a cup. and I will check in with you later. Now what I'll go into is the recovery process. So the day after surgery, my biggest complaint, I guess you will, was that I felt very woozy and quite nauseous and a bit out of it. You know, I felt really, really sick and pretty much just went to bed. The next morning I woke up, the biggest thing was the pain. So day 3 post-surgery was definitely by far the worst for me. I think what made it the worst for me was the emotional side of it. I was just feeling frustrated and really, really low and flat, and just really unhappy. And I kept trying to perk myself up in my mind, but it just wasn't working. And that morning I went out to do some stretching to try and do something that was physical, and just sobbed on my own for about 30 minutes, just crying nonstop. And another thing that I think was really getting to me is, you know, when you feel unwell, you just want your mum to look after you. And so I think in that moment, with all those heightened emotions, I just missed my mum so much, and I just wanted her there. I wanted my mum to look after me. And so my partner actually ended up staying home from work that day to look after me, and I'm so grateful that he did, because I don't know how I would have made it through that day without him there with me, because it was tough. It was really, really tough. So I had my day where I felt shit and unhappy, and then yesterday, day 4, I woke up and I felt a lot better. And then again today, I feel even better. Like, I feel back to myself today. I feel happy and cheery and motivated, and even though I'm still restricted and I can't drive myself anywhere. So yeah, pretty much where we go from here is on the 14th of September, I have my clinic appointment where I'll go back into the hospital. They will check my wound. I have to keep this dressing on until Thursday. This is like a waterproof dressing that stays over the incision. I did change it once though, so I'll insert a picture just here of what the wound actually looks like. So it'll go in, they'll check the site, I guess if there are any more stitches still left in there, because they are supposed to be dissolvable stitches, they'll take those out. And by that point I will also have my pathology results back from the lymph nodes that they took around the area. But obviously we won't know until we get the test results back if there were cancer cells outside of the lump. So keep your fingers crossed for me, pray for me that there is cancer nowhere else besides in the lump. And then 6 weeks from now, I will have to have a blood test done to check my thyroid hormone levels, my thyroxine levels, to make sure that the one half of my thyroid that I have left is doing an adequate job of managing my hormones. Obviously your thyroid produces thyroxine. Thyroxine plays a major role in regulating hormones, and particularly in regards to your metabolism. So obviously I want things to be normal or good, or as best they can be, and I really, 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 really don't want to have to go on thyroid hormone replacing drugs for the rest of my life, because I know it can really mess with your hormones, and it's just not something I want to do. But I'm keeping positive that that won't be the case, because I've still got half a thyroid and it's going to do a great job. So guys, that wraps up my part 2 of my thyroid cancer journey. I really, really appreciate the fact if you have watched this whole video. I just can't tell you how much that means to me. I would also really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel and support me on this new journey of mine. Yeah, pretty much I will be doing a part 3 probably when I get my pathology results back, so stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be uploading some more videos with some different content in the next coming weeks, just to keep you guys entertained with something different. So yeah, thanks guys, love you so much, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video.